Hey, what's up, Michael? This is a quick demo video for you for your Oggdo killer and my last demo of 2020. I was gonna try to squeeze one more in today, but I'm tired, so I'm gonna call this a year right here. So it's kind of a special guy for me. It's been a crazy year for me. I started my business Solo Sabers on February 1st, and I've done over 300 sabers since February 1st, and this being the very latest. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for their support, and to thank you for allowing me to do this. And let's get right into it. So this is installed with a CFX, and it also has a crystal chamber. So when this first came out, I had somebody send it right to me. They sent it straight to me, and I designed a chassis for this guy. And then about 3 weeks later, I saw that Goth came out with one, and they were actually using this section here for the sound ventilation. I had originally made this chassis, and I put a crystal in here because I thought it was a nice way to light this up, and that's what I did with yours as well. So you have a quartz crystal in there. If you look carefully in there, you will see in person there's one piece of black shrink tube. I use that to run all my switch wires and my neopixel wires past that crystal and back into the board. So I just run it through that tube to make it just not ugly, right? So you don't have red. I got red, white, green, 2 yellow wires. I mean, if I had exposed all that, that'd look pretty gnarly in there. So I run that through that one piece of black shrink tube in there. So anyway, to that chassis, I noticed that they're using this for sound venting, and that is what you'll need to do if you had 2 of these and you're making a staff, because the staff section does not have any sound venting. But for one Oggdo killer, I like to put the crystal up here. There is sound venting through this pommel right here. So I can use a 28mm bass speaker. I just have to do it a particular kind of way. So to get to everything, what you want to do is you want to open up this coupler. So you want to unscrew this guy right here. And while you're unscrewing that, you want to make sure that this handle doesn't twist on you. So you just unscrew it with your fingers, obviously, right? With your fingers. Let's get it started first. I had it on here kind of tight because I was testing it out. So anyway, you kind of want to hold on to the handle right here and just take these 2 fingers, is what I meant to say, and unscrew this coupler right here. And then as you're unscrewing it, you can kind of push back on the handle a little bit until everything is loose and it slides right out. Now, the reason why I didn't have, or I had you hold on to that handle, is because I put a CFX board in here. So with a Profi, I don't need to do this little bit of modification that I do on the lip, but with a CFX I do, because CFX is a little bit bigger. When you're looking at it in here like that, if you have that board facing you like this, and you're looking down on your right hand side, on the side of that right hand side of that board, there's a resistor right there that needs to have clearance, right? Otherwise, you'll break it off. I learned that the hard way on the first CFX install that I did. So what I did is I come in here and I cut a little notch in this lip. You can see that right there, right? From here to here. And that little notch goes over that right-hand side of that corner of that board right there, so that you can pass that resistor and not worry about it breaking off, and it has plenty of clearance. Could not bring the board down any bit or any more because I needed room for the battery. And the battery fits right here. You have a removable battery system. Your spring side in here is going to be your negative. So what I did is I brought this battery in as much as I could and still allow for the battery to be taken, or the battery cradle I brought into the hilt as much as I could. And then you still are able to pop a battery in and out here. Any more, like a millimeter more pushing this chassis in, you would not be able to pop a battery in and out. And I did that because I had to fit this 28mm bass speaker in here, and and still have this handle fit, because although this handle looks huge, you don't have that much space in there, right? I don't know if I can even, I'll show you. So I've got a test blade right here, right? We'll just use that for an example. So I'll put this test blade in. I'll stop right here, put my finger where it stops. That's how much install space I have inside that handle. So I gotta have the battery and the speaker. So when I put my thumb up to this right there, that's where it stops right there. You can see it stop in there, right? You can see that diameter change in there. And that's where it stops. So not very much room in that guy at all. Probably about 3 inches or so, if that, just shy of 3 inches. So that's why this is kind of a cram food job, right? So, but you do have easy access to your SD card. So you can pop your SD card in and out from here, no problem. I've done it multiple times. Put sound fonts on, mess with your config file, whatever you want to do, and then you pop your SD card right back into that guy. This is a 1-button setup. So everything is controlled by this button right here. And I'll show you how to do that. And then you have a 7-pin neopixel connector in there that runs your blade, right? So we're gonna throw a battery in here. It is a tight fit, so you'll be able to pop your battery in well, but when you go to pop it out, you're gonna need a tool. So like a thick guitar pick. I've actually got a pair of tweezers I didn't bring out here that have like a rubber coating on them, or one of those brick tools for Legos. Anything like that you're gonna come in here through the positive side and help pop your battery out. You just probably won't be able to do that with your fingertip, okay? So we'll throw a battery in here.
The pleasure's all mine.
So tight fit, but it goes in, right? And then we're gonna take our handle and we're gonna put our handle on. So remember what I said about that groove I cut there? You can see it a lot better right there. That little groove I cut, I made sure I made it nice and neat. It doesn't look gnarly like I just went in there and dremelled it and hacksawed it. I filed it and sanded it. I made it look professional. But that does go over that right side of that corner of that board. To help you remember that, these 2 wires are your power wires, and they go over to that side of the board as well. So just remember that groove right there needs to go over where those wires are going into the board. And you can see it just like this. You're holding it like this. You can see the groove just like that. So you don't have to guess, right? We're just gonna slide our handle up on it, pop the handle right in. And then we're gonna do the same thing that we did while we took the handle out. We're gonna hold the handle and screw this coupler on. And when it starts getting tight on you, that means you can just take this handle and push it forward a little bit like this. You can almost hear it, right? You screw it a little bit more, it'll get tight. About 3 times of doing this is when the coupler usually locks all the way in place. Just like that, now it's locked in place. Now we can wake the board up.
The pleasure's all mine.
If you go too long without messing with a CFX board, it goes to sleep. So you just hit the board, or I'm sorry, you hit the switch real quick, it wakes the board up. You get that sound, and then you hit it again for activation.
The pleasure's all mine.
Or you wake it up again if you talk too much, right? So there's your crystal. Smooth swing. Flash on clash. Tap the button for blaster deflex. We'll turn it off. Now we're gonna throw a blade in it. This does take a 1-inch diameter blade. We're gonna use your blade retention. I'll show you that. Tighten it up a little bit. You have a blade retention screw right here. So that's what we're gonna use.
The pleasure's all mine.
Lights up a blade perfectly. Now this crystal chamber is wired in line with your blade, so anything your blade does, this crystal will do too, right? So you won't see it when we're just tapping for blaster deflex. But to get blade lock up on a CFX, you have in a 1-button setup, you have to hold down this button and hit the blade at the same time. And then you get blade lock up. And you see it right there in your crystal. Now to change colors on a 1-button, what you want to do is hold down the button and twist the handle.
Spectrum.
Or twist the saber. Now you've reached spectrum mode, and you can actually just twist the saber, and every time you hear it click, you see it's a different color. So if we wanted that green, when we find something, we just tap the button. Hold the switch to turn it off, and now when you turn it back on, it's going to be green. Sounds really good. I gave you about 21 different blade profiles or blade effects on this guy. So to get to those, we'll do the same thing we did for color change, but this time we'll keep the button held down. So hold the button and twist the saber,
Spectrum.
but keep holding it.
Blade profiles.
Blade profiles. Now again, you can twist the saber and you get different blade effects. And you'll see that in your crystal too. We'll just cycle through a few of them. See that in your crystal and your blade. Let's try to find something cool. Even a white, so we'll stop at white. Tap it. Now you've got a white blade, you've got a white crystal. The blade lockup can be tricky on a 1 button.
Spectrum.
Let's get off that white. Oh, we need to get off that blade style.
Spectrum. Blade profiles.
Let's go here. So now it's kind of an orange blade, orange crystal. And we'll turn the blade off. Now to get to your sound fonts when the blade is off, what you want to do is just hold down the button.
Sound bank selection. Don't insult me.
Now you can only go one way with a 1 button. So we're just going to tap it. That's the Britney Spears font. And then these are all the stock legacy fonts. I think there's one sound font on here that's going to be Smooth Swing.
This is General Kenobi.
And I think it's this one. So we'll stop here and just hold the button down.
I have a bad feeling about this. Let the negotiations begin.
No, this one's not Smooth Swing. Well, maybe. Just not as nice as some of the other ones can be. But we'll turn this off.
There's never time to limber up.
And we'll go back to the beginning on sound fonts.
Sound bank selection.
This is General Kenobi.
Right. Crystal focus. Audio. SD. System. Exit right.
There's a nice unstable blade effect. Unstable crystal. Smooth swing. And so there you have it. That's how you pretty much work everything on this saber. If you got any questions, please let me know. If not, I think mail is actually going to be closed tomorrow, but I will get this out to you in the mail Saturday morning. Thank you.